Hello, my Flosstube friends. It's time for another episode. Oh, hello, everybody. It's another Fun Friday Flosstube Weekly Update with me. I am Annie, Joy-Filled Stitcher, both here on Instagram. No, this is not Instagram. What am I talking about? Here on YouTube and over on Instagram. And you've reached a video and my channel about cross stitch. So, how is everybody doing on this awesome Friday? It is Friday, March the 19th, 2021, and this is Flosstube number 96. And I'm getting close to 100 videos. I'm also getting close to my 2-year Flosstube anniversary. So, lots of fun things on the horizon in the next 4 to 8 weeks. So, to those of you who are returning for another Friday video, oh, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me again for another video this week and every week. Some of you are here without fail, lifting me up in the comments every single week, and I love it. To those of you who might be new since my last video or within the last few videos, welcome to you. This is my own brand of uniqueness. There's singing, there's joy, there's all kinds of things all bundled in this one, sometimes short, no, it's never short, these videos that I put out each Friday. So I hope everybody has had a wonderful week. I've had a great week. When I talked to you last Friday, and I don't know quite what to do with my hair because I am not wearing a headband this week. I got up and washed my hair and then had it up in my turby twisty thing. And then I was like, oh, I need to take it down. And when I took it down, it was like, so I was like, okay, fine. I'm going to blow dry it, which is what I typically do. Because when my hair is short, if I don't, my calyx really show themselves and make my hair look kind of interesting. But I typically have my cute little headbands, but I don't have one on today. And I'm not going to stop to go get one. So this is me headbandless, but I don't know quite what to do with myself, and I keep touching my hair. So I will try to stop. But anywho, so last Friday when I chatted with y'all, we were on the first day of our spring break. We have 2 more days, and then we're back on Monday. I am an elementary school teacher, and my daughter is in 3rd grade. I teach, she goes to the same school. And I think we're kind of ready for our normalcy. We both function very, very highly well with a set schedule that stays the same. Like we usually get into some kind of routine and that's what we stick with. Spring break, not so much. And so she's a little more cranky, I'm a little more cranky, and that's okay. But we are highly, this is our lane, let's stay in our lane. So I'll do a little bit more life update here in a bit, but the first things I want to go ahead and do is our virtual hugs for the week. So I've mentioned in my previous videos that this is not everybody's cup of tea, and that's totally cool, but it's something I started back during stay-at-home orders here in Texas, so last spring. And people just kind of started commenting like, thank you so much for the virtual hug. It means so much. Not, like I said, it's not everybody's cup of tea. If you reach out and give a hug, that's awesome. I give 2 virtual hugs, then I ask you to give yourself a hug because we can always use that physical touch. And I know for some, there is nobody around to hug. Even still, even at this juncture. I have a hugger. I have 2 huggers in my house. So I'm not without hugs, but sometimes you just need a hug. So we're going to come in for our virtual hugs. So we're going to give one on each side, then we're going to give one to ourselves. This is just a little rundown about how this works. Is that good? Okay. All right, so come in for your hugs. 1 hug. 2 hugs. And then we give a hug here. And then we breathe in and breathe out. We have made it to another Friday, which means we've made it through another, for some of you, work week, for some of you, spring break. Some of you mentioned in your last video, in my last video's comments, that your spring break's coming up in April, which, yay, go you. We have approximately 9 weeks left of school. So we have 1 quarter left and it's 9 weeks. Now I say approximate because we do have, you know, like Good Friday is off. The Monday after Easter is a day off for kids. We have, and then the last week has 3 half days or 2 half days and a day off for the kids. So that's a lot of blah, 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 blah. Some videos you get a lot of blah, 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 blah. So this week was tackle all the doctor's appointments, including a trip to the orthodontist for the little one. It is her first go round with the orthodontist. We have known since she was little bitty, like, because we've been going to the dentist since she was like a year and a half, just because we wanted her to be comfortable and to get to know the dentist and how the dentist works. And so now she like loves it. And they love her, and she gets like multiple prizes every time she goes. I'm like, this is nonsense. I don't get prizes for the dentist. I'm lucky if I walk out and don't have a massive bill and multiple things that need to be done with my mouth. But that's being an adult and not having the best, like, genetically based teeth. Anywho, long story short, she went in. She is very much a kid who cannot stand the fear, or has the fear of the unknown. She does not like unknown situations. She does not like new places. She's very open about that fact. So she asks lots of questions. She's like, that doesn't look cool. Like, they have the things, you know, that they pull so they can get pictures of the whole mouth. They have ones that go up top, and they have the mirror that goes in. I mean, she has this tiny little, she's 9, but her mouth is not the size of a 9-year-old. And so they're trying to get all these instruments in there, and she's like, and it's like, it's okay, just breathe through your nose. And the treatment lady looks at me and goes, is this like familiar to you? I was like, dude, when I had braces at 18 to fix my jaw, my teeth were beautifully straight, but I have jacked up bite and all of that. When I got them taken off at 19 and they went to make the impression and my retainer, I had one of the smallest child size retainers. I often joke that I have the smallest big mouth in the world, which means it's very, very small, but it has a lot to say. So I have the smallest big mouth in the world. And I apparently have given birth and am raising another child, another me walking around on this planet, smallest big mouth, because she's chatty too. So anywho, she did well. I had told her that if she did a great job, she, you know, like, listened to their instructions and tried to, you know, accept that this was a different situation. And, you know, I praised her all throughout. And at one point the nurse said, would you like your mom to stay? Because I'm all for, if she's going to do better without me there, because, you know, some kids are like that. Our dentist, we love. She is the same hygienist every time. She goes back by herself and has been since she was 3. I sit in the waiting room. I'm perfectly fine with that because a lot of kids, her included, and I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, we are very comfortable with it. We know that she does better when she can associate with what the situation is, and she doesn't feel my tenseness, my anxiety about it, and my concern. So I just tried to keep it calm, and I said, that's perfectly fine. If you need me to leave for her to do what she needs to do without worry, I'm totally fine. I can go, you know, sit in my car. She said, no, I'm good. So she did great. She rocked it. We went to Half Price Books because she wanted to look for a specific book. So we went there and we found some other fun books and a couple of like logic kind of puzzle books and things like that. So long story short, that was a endeavor in and of itself. And we've learned that there's a whole lot of nonsense going on with her permanent teeth up on top. Too much to even expound on in this video. So needless to say, we go back in like 2 weeks and have a special 3D x-ray. It's called a cone beam. Pretty cool. High tech. I'm all for it. I think the x-rays are totally cool. I love everything about it. Little backstory. I did actually want to be a nurse. And then I realized that it was just like, I'm not cut out for that. Nurses are amazing. I wanted the human interaction, but without the the heaviness that comes with being a nurse often. So anyhow, but I am like enthralled with that. So I'm like, yeah, let me look at some more x-rays. Like, yay, x-ray time. So anyway, we go back and then they're going to consult, figure some things out, let us know just how much is going to have to happen with the train wreck to get this all right. We've known she was missing a permanent tooth, very commonly missed permanent tooth. We've known that she's missing it since she was 2 on x-rays. And I'm like, oh, fantastic. That's the least of our concerns at this point because she's got teeth coming in like this that are going to the wrong slots. It is what it is. I'm just happy for really good dental insurance. So that kind of happened this week. We tackled a lot of home projects. In our house, we have like a family room, which is where we spend most of our time. And then we have a formal living room and a dining room. And during pandemic and all of that, we have gone on a massive declutter, clean out, and a lot has just accumulated in that front room. So we made a couple of trips to drop off for donations, things like that. Went through everything in both rooms. I tackled that kind of like Monday, and it was like my all-day project. But another big reason I'm doing that is that we're getting a Peloton. I'm so excited. I'm getting a cycling bike, and so I will be able to work out in my house in the comfort of my own living room, which is now going to be half workout room. We don't use that room. We really don't entertain. So we've set it up to be that. And then we have space for my daughter and I, to do yoga together because we both enjoy yoga. And so, yeah, I'm super excited about that. It comes on the 16th, which is a filming night, which is really exciting. So anywho, here's kind of what we have going on. We have a little administrative stuff. I have some giveaways I need to share with y'all from last week. I have a bit of happy mail that came. I have a tiny bit of haul. I really had not much at all. I have some projects that I worked on this week. I did stitch some in the evenings. I didn't do near as much as I had thought I would because I really each morning tried to get up and tackle one big project. And so typically I didn't sit down until the early evening, late afternoon. But I did get some stitching done, including a finish / FFO. I actually fully finished something, like to be presented, which is like, what? Mind blown. If you follow me on Instagram, I showed my fully finished object, my FFO, yesterday. I think it maybe still is in my stories. I'm not sure. I actually have another finish. It's not like presentable. Like it's not presenting. It's just a finish. The stitching is finished. I finished that, another project, and then I worked on some lips. So let's thank some people for some fancy floss. We're going to get all the administrative stuff out of the way. So I have in the description box below a link where you can buy me a fancy floss. It's through the Buy Me a Coffee platform. Some folks leave me comments as to why they purchased me a fancy floss. Many people say, I love your content. Thank you so much for sharing each week, taking the time to do this. Thank you for doing the giveaways, passing all the fun stuff. And I love seeing those. Some people just buy me a fancy floss. It's in no way an obligation. I put these videos out there because I enjoy it. And I enjoy sharing with y'all and having the dialogue and somewhat of a dialogue in the comments. I am not great about responding back. I am great about hearting your comment and reading it sometimes more than once, but I just am not great about responding back. And so for that, I do apologize. I will try to be better in the future. Anywho, I made my videos ad-free back in October of 2020. Mostly because I didn't like the ad content that I was finding out was in my videos that I have no say about. So I removed that option for YouTube to put ads in, or Google AdSense to put ads in. And so I really was not earning very much anyway. I had lots of great views, lots of people watching my videos and commenting and interacting and things like that, but it does not amount to much. Honestly, YouTube gets more from me because I have a premium membership. I pay each month about $12 so that I don't see ads. And so I don't know how that goes back to the content creators that I watch. I don't know how they get a piece of that. So it kind of made me like a little, So I just made them ad free. Said, nope, I'm going to make them ad free. And so I turned off ads and I have not looked back, and that's fantastic. So these folks bought me at least one fancy floss this week. Most people have said they're okay with me sharing their name. I typically share first name, first initial, or last initial if you have that, or whatever name you choose to use. So the following people bought me at least one fancy floss, and I want to say thank you so much. What a blessing on me, because it goes to help me get the big things, like the Black Needle Society box that I'm going to show you in this video in the haul section. So Mary A, thank you so much for buying me a fancy floss. Lori M, thank you for buying me a lot of fancy floss. You are very generous, generous beyond words. Stitching Jeb, thank you for buying me a fancy floss. Let's see. Klaars from the Netherlands, which awesome. How cool is that? Bought me a fancy floss. Thank you so much, Klaar. I think it's Klaars. And then Ann S, thank you for buying me some fancy floss. So thank you guys so much. I am so appreciative of that. It just makes my day to see your comments, to read those. And so, yeah. So I think let's get into showing some projects. How about that? So we are going to start with actually what's on my stand that I'm currently working through. I am working on, let me show you, I actually don't have the most current yes I do. I took a picture of it to post in one of my groups, and so I actually have it on my phone. This is so shocking that I am prepared in some way, shape, or form. So this is Caterpillar Cross Stitch's current SAL called Made to Create. This is release 1 and 2. So I am currently working through release 2, which is the gold stork scissors, the button, the ball of yarn, and the knitting needles, and then this other button. I was completely caught up with release 1. And then release 2 came out on the 25th of February. And so my goal is to be caught up with this section before the next release. I was sent this kit by Sally at Caterpillar Cross Stitch to stitch along. And it comes with the fabric, it comes with the floss, it came with a beautiful needle minder, which I'll show you in just a minute. I had my option of Zweigart-based fabric. I chose, I believe it's the 16 count Ada. Comes with all DMC flosses. It is not too late to get in on this. I know you can still probably purchase a kit, a full kit. You can also just get the PDF. And since it's kind of on a very neutral, not super specific fabric, and it's with DMC, you could probably do it from stash. You could even swap in some fancy flosses, and that would be really cool. This is in a Stitch Toolbox bag. This was one of her mystery bags of the month. It kind of has a sewing theme, and so I thought it was kind of cute. This is on Maykay's Creations Z lap stand, and so this is where I am working on the stork scissors. So I basically last night sat and tent stitched all of it, and so now I'm going back and tent stitch is doing the first leg. That's what I call it. So I half stitched the whole thing, and now I can go back and do the top leg and not have to count, which is really super chill and relaxing. And like I said, it has a super cute needle minder, so it looks like a floss bobbin. It says Made to Create. It has the gold detailing, and then I've got my needle on it. So anywho, I have obviously this plan to work on some more this evening. In fact, I'm going to move it over here so it doesn't conk onto the floor, because I've already had to glue back one of my arms. Unfortunately, it fell off the couch one time too many, and one of my bars kind of cracked in the middle. But we got some glue, we got a vise, we squished it back together, and then now it's fantastic, like brand new. So anyway, that was something I've worked on. So let me show you something else I worked on. So this is in a Molly Klein Designs bag. Some Rifle Paper Company fabric. I love it. You can find her on Etsy, Molly Klein Designs. And this holds my Dreaming Girl SAL, which is a Barbara Anna Designs. We are in release, I think, 4 of 5. And you can get it at creativepoppy.com. This is an active SAL. So there is still, I think, 1 part left to release. I am not completely caught up. That's okay. I am working on release 3. I am caught up all the way through release 2. And then, like I said, I'm working on release 3. This is on a 16 count Ada from Color and Cotton in a limited edition that I got a long time ago in a fabric subscription. So release 1 was the girl and the hair. Release 2 was the beautiful flowers, the very quintessential Barbara Anna style flowers, framing her out. So the first part was just called release 1. Then the second part, the name changed on the file to say spring. So this is spring. I am currently working on release 3, which is summer. And it has this really cool, like a sun and these sunbursts, and then like a lighthouse and some houses and a sailboat and some other stuff. And then release 4, which I've seen, is fall, and it has like the bottom wave of her hair, and then there's leaves hanging out of it. It's just so cool. It's so cool. And so I did a bit of a skin conversion on her. I made her a little bit darker complected. And I am going to share my notes on Instagram. So if you're interested at all, feel free to check that post out. I'm actually going to leave this out so I can remind myself, because I had like 3 people when I posted my progress yesterday ask if I would share that. So I'm just going to post it into my stories, and then I'll save it in the highlights so you can go back and reference that if you'd like. All right, so I've been participating this month in Steel City Stitcher's March Stitch Madness, or March Stitchy Madness. And so I did mine all centered around 8 Ink Circles Patreon charts. They're exclusive if you are a member of her or if you're a patron of hers. And I have actually had several people comment that said that they just recently signed up, and they have access to all the back charts. So please do not hesitate 1 iota in signing up. I think it's not the lowest level, but like her mid-level will get you everything, which is incredible. I cannot rave enough about how incredible it is. So anyway, when we spoke last, I was down, I think, to my last 2 matchups, maybe. From what my notes say, we were down to my last 2 projects, I believe. I'm not sure. I may need to show you more that I just don't have, and that's all right. So one of them was Love Bug, and this was the April 2020. I believe this was, yeah, it was the first one. So we're coming up on a 1-year Patreon for her. I love this one. This made it all the way to the finals, the final 2, and it lost by a squeak. And so I did put in some more time in the semifinals and the finals. This is on a 16 count or an 18 count. I'm not sure. Ada from Picture This Plus in Barnwood. And I still am just working on black outline. I'm nearly done though, I think. Because I've got one more beetle over here, this part, and what. I'm nearly done. I only have this to do. Yeah, okay. But I think I'm going to really super love this as like a lunchtime stitching once I get the black outline. Because then I'm just like color booking it. It's coloring. Then it becomes color stitching. Whatever. Anyway, so it did not make the final cut. Because ultimately the #1 project, the one that won the championship, its ultimate goal was to get finished and FFO'd by the end of March. I finished it on Monday, which was the first day that I worked on it again as the champion project, knowing I had 2 weeks. I worked on it Monday and finished it. And no, I did not take I didn't cut any corners. It is the fully charted. In fact, I put in a few extra stitches in as just bejewelment. And I fully finished it on yesterday. I fully finished it yesterday. So y'all want to see it? So first, let me refresh you on the project. So this was another Patreon exclusive. This was the May 2020 Posy Go Round. So this was the, how it was, she charted it, but she basically said 3 colors. I did 4. So you really need a flower, leaf, and a doily. So I did a flower, 2 leaves, and the doily color. Wrong side. So there is Posy Go Round. I did mine in 4 colors of Color and Cotton. I believe I shared these in one of my posts on Instagram of this project. Not the finished one, but the one before it. So it is a Color and Cotton. It's got Emerald City, Mycelium, which is a really pretty pinkish white tone, Hollyberry, which I love, and Primitive Vines, which is one of my most favorite greens. I stitched this on a piece of 16 count, no, use 18 count, 18 count slate Ada from Hand Dyed by Stephanie. It was a small offcut that I purchased from the scrap bin at my local needlework shop, the Stitch Niche. It was like a 9 by 27 inch piece. I think it was like $3, and I got 1 out of this and could easily get more. So let me show you what I did, how I fully finished it. So this is my fully finish. So let me kind of run it down for you. So I took my piece, and I have a piece of mat board, and then I have some fusible foam that I used to make the project sleeves that I was making. So I literally cut circles and graduated them. Then I took 1 piece of batting, and then I kind of wrapped it all around the back, and then I busted out my hot glue gun because no fear. Bust out the hot glue gun and glued it into this tart pan. This tart pan I purchased from the Hands On Designs web store. She has these for one of her designs, and she had some, now granted this has been over a year ago, but she had some that were kind of like considered an oops, because I guess they got beat up and they're distressed around the edges, which I love. So I was all for it. So I got these for a steal of a deal. I actually have 1 more. So I actually glued this down. So it is permanent. It's a pin cushion. It's nice and squish. And then I went through my trim drawer, and I have loved getting the Fluff and Doodads Trim Club from Crazy Annie's Stitchers group. It's a bi-monthly, so you get it every other month, and it comes with a pack, a finishing pack, along a theme or a color way from Lady Dot Creates. So both of these trims came from a different month. Actually, the pink did. This cute little, like, ready pink lace came from one of the packs. I believe it was the red high heels pack. This chenille came from a Christmas pack, and it was kind of it's that tealy, it reminds me so much of this. So it's like perfect, because this picks up the lighter shades in the Hollyberry, and this picks up the tealish shades of the Emerald City. So the biggest changes I did, obviously, is I have 2 greens. I kind of changed up the colors that I did I ended up putting cross. This was supposed to have 1 dot in the points, but I ended up doing like a cross shape, and then I ended up putting points in these, and then I left these open. I just love it. I think it's so cute. And then the mini pins are from Just Another Button Co. It's one of their mini pin sets. It's an autumn set that I was gifted in a order a while back from Color and Cotton. They put this in one of my orders. It was a fabric order that I had done. It was a rather large one back maybe in the spring. And I just had them chilling in my finishing drawer. And I was like, you know what? It's a pin cushion. I'm going to put cute pins. So it's got a cute flower and a heart and a sheep. They don't really go. I love the sheep. He's going to stay. But I'm going to put this next to my stitchy spot over here. It's got all my favorite colors. I love how it turned out. I have rambled on about this far too long, but I love it. This was so much fun. It's a little hectic. It made me go, good gravy, where's Helen D when you need her? Because she's incredible. And the circle finish is what kind of gave me pause. It gave me a little like heart palpitations, because once you commit to it, like that's it. So what I ended up doing is as I was positioning it and I got it where I thought I liked it, I took straight pins and pinned them into the mat board. And that way I could kind of adjust it and get it exactly where I wanted. And then I didn't remove those pins until after I had everything in position on the back. And that was, I think, one of the big successes for me, because I feel pretty good about the positioning of this and how my, my perimeter looks pretty even. It could maybe be a little like this. But I love this, and it was so fun. And so I want to say a big thank you to the Steel City Stitchers for such a phenomenal idea, allowing us all to come along and participate. And I'm trying to decide if, since I clearly picked a project that I enjoyed so much, I finished it lickety-split and FFO'd it, if I want to now pull out Love Bug and see if I can get that one done. And then go to the next, see how many I can get done. I don't want to pin myself to that, because when I pin myself to goals, I usually go, no goals, and like throw off all the chains. Can't pin me down. Anywho. All right, so let's talk about 3 more things I worked on. Good gravy, this is going to be long just because I'm chatty. All right, I worked on Long Dog Samplers High and Dry a little bit more. I am participating in Monochromatic March, along with some other fantabulous stitchers. This is on a 16 count Aida from Color and Cotton. I love me some Color and Cotton Aida. In blush, this was a ready to ship option, and I am stitching this in Sulky White. It's just their white 12 weight cotton. This is in a Creative Carol bag, which I love because it's the Tula cone flowers. It's so pretty. It's 2 different color waves. Creative Carol with a K at the beginning of Creative. And I got quite a bit more done. And I love it. Oh my gosh. So I'm using 1 strand of the 12 weight Sulky on the 16 count. It's perfection. Perfection. It's fantastic for the back stitch, or whatever you call that. Long stitch, running stitch. And it's also perfect for the cross stitch. And so I love this so much. I love it. I love it. Cannot wait to get back to some more time. That's why I still have it on the hoop, because it's such a fun stitch, because it's just like the one color. Like, I get it when people talk about monochromatic. I get it now. Totally. I mean, I've had other monochromatic pieces, but I'm going to tell you what, monochromatic with Sulky is game changer. Game changer, 100%. 100%. You're going to be hard pressed to find me want to do any other monochromatic without Sulky. All right, so 2 more things. I'm going to show you one other one I worked on, and then my other finish. So this one I worked on, this was one of my February whip goes. No, we're in March, aren't we? Yeah, we're in March. March whip goes. So this is Return the Kindnesses. This is by Hands to Work Revisited. This is a super cute chart. I am stitching this along with Steph of Just Keep Stitching. We are doing #BestiesBunnySal. This is in a beautiful Diana bag. It is Kismet Stitches. I'm stitching this on 18 count sampler gold. My goal to meet my whip go was 7 days work on it, and I got it. Yay! And I got a ton of progress. I love this penny rug detailing. I put in more into the words. I started to put in this block down this side and some of the detailing over here. This is such a fun chart. This is the actual size of it, so clearly I have some margins. But yeah, this is the bottom border. We'll go across here. So I love this. I can't wait to pull this one back out. So yeah, so good. Such a good chart. I am so happy to be stitching it. I did a full, because it calls for, one moment, calls for needlepoint silk. Yes, needlepoint silks. Or they give you a DMC conversion. No. I did a conversion to hand-dyed cottons. So they're all color and cotton with the exception of one Victoria motto. and I haven't actually used it yet, and I might swap it out because I'd like to make this conversion accessible to everybody, and these are clearly not accessible, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm salty, not in a good way. So anyway, we've got a bunch of color and cottons. I have not used this one, so I'm likely going to swap that out. I will share as soon as I have actually used each color to make sure that I like them. I don't have a problem sharing my color conversions. I just like to make sure that I like how it all goes together, and if it meets close enough to the vision of the chart, if that's what I'm going for. It's not always what I'm going for. Sometimes I'm like, nah, throw, like Lizzie Kate's My To-Do List, this one looks nothing like the called for at all. Like, it's very prim and browns and creams and dusty pinks. And I'm like, nope, turquoise fabric, bright colors. Yeah. So I have a finish. And it was on my oldest whip. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Now, granted, this project has 2 components to it, and I am only doing 1 component. So I had already chosen long before I touched this project this time that I was only doing 1 part of it. And there's a reason, and I'll explain it. So this is Autumn Drum by the Blue Flower. So I only stitched the top, and there's a reason why I did that. Just within the last year, Janine of the Blue Flower came out with another acorn chart that has these same letters, just all kind of in more monochrome. And it has a great quote on it about how, now I'm going to have to find it, because it's so good, and I want to do it justice. I am sorry for being a bit sniffly. It is spring in Texas. Okay, so it's called Acorns by the Blue Flower. And it says, the creation of 1,000 forests is in a single acorn. And so as you can see by this, as best I can show you, the letters are very similar. In fact, pretty much identical, except instead of being multicolored, they're stitched all 1 color. But I love the verse. So I figured, since I already have this chart, I don't need to stitch acorns twice. And I'd already started the top of this drum, and I love it. So I'm going to do some kind of circle finish, maybe find a circle frame. I don't know. This was a joy to stitch on. This is an exclusive chart to Acorns and Threads. It still is. I purchased mine back in the fall of 2019, early fall, as a full kit. It included the linen, the called for linen, which was Lakeside, vintage pecan butter, and all the silks. So I am actually going to be destashing this on my destash page because there is more than enough silk to complete it. Now I only have the piece of linen that's for the round part of the drum, but I am going to go ahead and destash that with the silks and the chart. But I'm not there just yet. I have a whole pile of stuff. But let me show you my finish. So this was my first time on 40 count when I started this back in 2019. I started this in early October 2019, so it's been a bit in the making. I did not iron it, but I did go ahead and stitch the top of the drum. And this is 1/1 on 40 count. So I did my initials. The C didn't look like that when I charted it on the on my iPad, on my graph on my iPad, but it does now, and it's okay. And then I did the 2020, which I think looks perfect, and I love the 1/1 how it looks. I swear it was like this. Like, my eyes kept crossing. I can't cross my eyes, like, on command. But if I could make my eyes cross, they would cross doing that. So it's just such a fun stitch. It's so cute. You know my love of squirrels if you've been here for any length of time. This is in a So Much to Love bag with my little French squirrels. So this will definitely house the acorn chart from Blue Flower, the other one, when I get around to doing it. So that's all I worked on. So let's chat plans briefly. So plans, I am still working through some monthly tasks from Cross Stitchers Journal and Daily 30. It is a closed group, but they do open it up from time to time. So I think you can go in and like request to join, and then when they open it up, they'll kind of review who all is requested. I think. I'm not sure. So I am working through that, and one thing that I have definitely on my agenda to pull out, actually tonight it's coming out, is my Barbara Anna Designs All Creatures Great and Small. I've said this is a great chart, but it is great, but not small. And this is on a swath, a blanket size piece of 18 count Ada from Oksana. She's a dyer that I've purchased from on Stash Unloading. I did a center start on it, and I decided I wasn't loving the DMC, so I went and did a fancy floss conversion, and I'm not starting over. So I'm just gonna like roll with it from here. So we'll see how that looks. It may be atrocious. It's okay. And this is in my awesome Fox Prints sleeve, full-size sleeve from Love You More Studio Co. So that's for sure coming out. Rosetta's going to have a few days later this next week. We're almost to April. April is full of some small starts. And that is because I am trying to get all of my Christmas kind of ornaments and gifts and things going. So I've got my 2 ornaments for my mom that I give her at Christmas. I'm going to start doing an ornament every year. I started this last year for my brother. Some kind of nutcracker chart because he has a nutcracker collection. So I'm going to cat chart for my sister-in-law, which I've already picked. I've already picked him for this year. And then I'm going to do the Amazing Grace Sunday Stitches for my dad. So I want to get that started. And then I am doing a piece for my daughter's best friend. Her birthday is in July, and I want to get it done by her birthday. And it's a Barbara Anna piece that has Frida. It's a cup of Frida, and it's Frida Kahlo. She loves Frida Kahlo. She's just the coolest little girl, and she is obsessed with Frida Kahlo, and she wants to be an artist just like she was, and so I love it. And so I'm like supporting it, and plus it's a Barbara Anna chart, so there you go. And I do have some projects that have birthdays, not many. And then May is a whole nother story, and I'm not ready to even start thinking about May yet. So let's talk Happy Mail and Stash. We're going to start with Happy Mail. So one of my viewers, Janet, reached out to me, and she said, hey, I would love to send you one of the bags that I sell in my shop for Joy-Filled Little One. If that's all right with you. And I said, of course, like she loves to get Happy Mail, and how sweet of you to offer. And so she actually has an Etsy shop. It's Studio 88 West. It says we make bags. So visit on Etsy. They're also on Instagram as Studio 88 West. And then, pardon me, her friends, Chris and Jane, talk about cross stitch on their Flosstube channel, Bo's Stitchers. So B-O-S Stitchers. She sent me this beautiful card that is from, it's actually like one of those paper cards, like rice paper cards, which is very cool. Has a lovely note inside. And she said, thank you so much for sharing this. And also she finds herself humming my tune. I've heard several people say that. And Joy-Filled Little One is going to love her bag. There's a part of me that wants to go, does she need this bag? Not really. But I'm not going to be stingy with it. But it is so cute. So, it's a bucket style bag. So, this would be great for obviously a knitting project. But you could put cross stitch in here too. A couple of things that I super love is obviously the fabric is unicorns. The inside is hedgehogs, which is adorable. It's got a great weight to it. I like that if you are knitting, it's a bucket style, so you can set it down and it's going to keep where your yarn can come out, and you can fold the top, then you can see the cute hedgehogs, and then you can also see the unicorns. I love that it's got the vegan leather or the leatherette on the bottom, so like you don't have to worry if you set it on a table, if there's moisture, that it's going to like seep through your bag. I think that's a fantastic detail. It has the ring, but it can be removed. So if you don't want that, it actually came packed inside, which I thought was a nice touch. And then one thing that I do like, and I had never thought about this, instead of having a drawstring, it has plastic snaps across the top. And so you could have, if you were doing color work, you could have multiple skeins of yarn coming through the different slots, which I think is a clever detail. And also it just keeps kind of, unless it's a small notion, it keeps everything kind of secured inside. I know that Carla of Carla Being Crafty buys the book sleeves and adds her own plastic snaps. So I think that's a great detail. So I would recommend these bags, especially if you're a knitter, because I think these are a great knitting bag. But I think they can make a great little cross stitch bag as well. I think these would be really good for like a perforated paper chart, or if you have a lot of like bobbins, or even a small bobbin box it could fit in the bottom. I mean, there's a lot of uses for this bag. It could just be like a cutesy bag. It could be a planner bag. Put your planner in it. Because why wouldn't a planner need a bag? And so, I really, really liked this bag. My only thing that I was like, is that when I got mine, and it just did it again. So that's why. Is my plastic snap on this one keeps wanting to stay attached over here and leave this button like with just the little post hanging out. So I kind of have to like check each time. And it's, I think, the same one that did it last time. So I probably need, like, I don't have that kind of snap maker thing. So I'm going to have to like figure that out. I don't know what that's going to look like. But anyway, Janet, thank you so much for this precious bag. She's going to love it. Or I'm going to love it in her honor. No, she'll love it. She will probably put books in it or doll stuff because she's kind of like taking a hiatus from the crafting. School's been kind of rocking her world. 3rd grade's tough. And so by the time we're home from school and she's like done her homework, she's kind of like, I just want to read a book for fun, or I just want to like draw or color. And so she's not real into like things that make her want to think. And for her, cross stitching and knitting both make her think a lot. And so she's kind of like, no, I'm done. It's valid. I get it. There are days where I'm like, I need just time to not stitch. Like I come home and I kind of decompress and then the stitching comes out later. All right. It's stash time. It's joy-filled stashy stash time. It's joy-filled stash time, and I don't have much. So the first thing that I got, I am part of 3L Threads. Oh, and somebody asked me where the Sulky Club was through. It is through 3L Threads. You can find them on Facebook. If you look up 3L Threads pre-sale, they have in the announcements or in the pinned post, there's a Google sign-up sheet for their nest egg program. And that's where I'm doing my Sulky through. So, she also does some other pre-orders. And one of them that she's been doing is the Let's Talk Chalk series. And so I got the winter one. And then today, like magic, the spring one was in my mailbox. And I think this is so cute. I truly don't know that I'll ever stitch the large ones, but I love the little pillows and I love the hoops. The hoop this month might be my favorite with the little birds and the little raindrops. No, they're not raindrops. Those are raindrops. Those are eggs. Little blue eggs. Hello, spring. I could definitely see myself starting that pretty soon. Oh, it's on 32 count slate. I need to look and see. I might have enough of that slate to do that. Because the hoop is only 65 by 63. And it calls for DMC. So super cute. I don't know when I'll start it, but it's nice to have it. And so let's talk about, this is a spoiler in case you have not gotten yours yet. So if you are not interested in seeing this, I'm going to say thank you so much for joining me because this is kind of the last thing I'm going to do. Oh, wait, no. I get giveaways. Let's do giveaways and then I'll do this. And then I'll do my sign off and then I'll do this. So that if you're like, no, I don't want to be spoiled, you don't have to be. So let's chat giveaways real quick. So I had a plethora of giveaways. I had four charts and 2 skeins of yarn. So first up, I had This one, it's a raise the roof design. It's wet side. And I'd asked you to use the word wake in your comment. There were 35 people who used that in last week's video. And this goes to Teresa Satterfield. So congratulations, Teresa. I will be putting that in the mail to you. I had a few of these little wee charts from Heart and Hand. This one is Wee Sister. And I asked you to use the word sister in your comment. 31 people said sister, and so this goes to Eileen D. So Eileen, congratulations, you won, and I'll be putting that in the mail to you. All right, next one was Wee Mom, and I asked you to use the word mom. 28 people said mom in their comment, and this goes to Charlotte Gaskins. So Charlotte, congratulations. I will put this in the mail to you, so you can stitch that up maybe for your mom or another awesome mom, you know. The last of the Wee charts is Wee Grandparents, and I ask you to use the word grand in your comment. 27 people used that word, and this goes to Marcia Rott. So Marcia, congratulations. Grand congratulations to you. I am sending that to you in the mail. Now let's look at some awesome yarn. So this is Happy Valley. It's Hawthorne fingering weight yarn from Knit Picks. One very large skein, and I'd ask you to use the word happy in your comment. 79 people were excited about this yarn and use the word happy in their comment, and it goes to Kimberly Hamilton. So Kimberly, congratulations. I will pop this in the mail to you. You should have it lickety split. I'm hopeful to get everything sent out before I go back to work on Monday. Then I had one more Hawthorne. This is Alberta Arts, and I ask you to use art in your comment. A lot of people loved this. Rightly so. It's absolutely stunning. And so 95 people used the word art in their comment, and it goes to Shelly Proverbs 31:22. Shelly, congratulations. You comment quite often, and I love that you were chosen for this one. So congratulations to you. So let us look at, where did I put them? It's under my Bridgerton book. Bridgerton book. So yes, I have watched the show multiple times through. I see, there's new things every time I watch it. And I'm like, I love period. They're not even on that shelf. I love period pieces. Like, I'm a huge Downton Abbey fan. Yeah. Somebody was so sweet and said the angel card looked like me last week. And I was like, that's so kind. I thought that was very sweet. So these are the Teresa Kogut Angel Kindness cards. I've been sharing these for almost a year, I think. I need to go back and look and see when I started. And they're a beautiful box set of 52 cards that contain artwork from Teresa Kogut and then some words of inspiration. So this one has a lovely angel on it. And on the front it says, may mercy, peace, and love be multiplied to you. And then it says, Jude, I need my good glasses for that, 1-2. And then on the back it says, know that today you are stronger than you were yesterday. That's important, I think, to hear that and to know that every day you're 1 year older, 1 year wiser, and stronger, because something has happened to get you to where you are. So with that, unless you're wanting to hear my song, I'll do my song. But stick around if you want to see what's in the Black Needle Society March. Is it March? Yes. March subscription box called On the Go Stitching. But if you are not interested in being spoiled, you don't want to see it, I totally get that. This video is almost already an hour because I've chatted. But I hope you've gotten some stitching in while we've chatted. And I will say to you, so long, stitch well. I'll see you soon, my friends. Goodbye, unless you're staying to watch the opening of this box. Now, I have already opened this box, and it's so good. It's really, really good. So I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that subscriptions are maybe closed as of right now, but there is a wait list. And I think the wait list is for starting with the July box. So There is a potential to get in, because if you don't pay, if your payment doesn't go through in a timely fashion when it's auto billed, your spot drops like pretty quick. So the theme of the March box is on the go stitching. These are every other month boxes. I've already renewed through July, because the way that these are curated and the amount of care and thought they're put into these, they're billed out, I think, 4 months in advance. So I'm already through July. So this is on the go stitching. I love the artwork. It's got a great spoiler booklet. It's got some stuff about, this is July's box, is Pirate Life stitching. So the first thing that was in here that I can't wait to try, it's called a protein puck, and it's a delicious sweet treat. This is Wanderlust. This is peanut butter, almonds, oats, cranberry, and sunflower seeds. It's plant-based energy. So sounds pretty good to me. It has a fun tote bag that says, I went to my craft room and all I got was this tote bag. I can guarantee you, you're going to find more in my craft room than just this tote bag. However, I love the bright print. Super fun. You can always have great totes, things like that. So awesome. I love this one. It's one of their little vinyl, like leatherette, vegan leather. I've heard it's called vegan leather now. Pouches. This is great for a small project. And it's a Winnie the Pooh quote. It's always an adventure with you. And it looks like the 100 Acre Woods. It's the same on front back. I love it. So cute. A new wallet that says, I'd rather be buying cross stitch. And it looks like cross stitch. Like, that's genius. And then the inside, the zipper's pink with gold hardware. The inside's black. It's a, like, this is my style wallet, so I like that. Yes, and I'm needing a new wallet, so there you go. Then we got a phone stand. Phone stand. It says Flosstube, anywhere, everywhere. Amen, sister friend. And then it's got a hole for your cord. So this is a great stand for your phone, even your iPad, you could stand it up. And then it's got a charging port, or a place for your charging cord if you need to. So I thought that was really cool. It's a bamboo stand, and then it's got the floss tube thing on it, which is so cool. Like, I love that each time I'm getting new and different things and things that I was like, I didn't know I needed that. But that's pretty cool. I'm going to put that on my desk at work. If nothing else, just to sit my phone up so it's not chilling on the desk. Possibly getting water splashed on it. We got some awesome floss drops. Now, I will say, these are some of the, like, neatest, like, paper. It's almost like a plasticized paper. It feels like paper, but it feels like you can't rip it. It reminds me a little bit, like, some of y'all are going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Plum Paper Planner's cover is paper, but it's like this plasticized, and it doesn't rip. Like, they give you a card of it to see if you can try to rip it, and it can't rip. So I think that's genius to kind of get that kind of paper and make floss tags, because then, like, no matter how hard you pull that knot, you're not going to, like, rip the tag apart. Trust me, I've done it. Cute little pouch that has our specialty floss in it, which is a beautiful Be Stitch Me hand-dyed silk in bouquet, which I think is really pretty variegated. It is 8 yards, which is a great quantity for a small monochromatic piece. We got an awesome, I cannot wait to wear this. It is a leather bracelet that has a ruler on it, inches and centimeters, and it says, not everything that counts can be counted. Not everything that can be counted counts. You know my love of bracelets if you've been here for any length of time. I have tiny wrists. I'm not a small girl, but I have very lithe wrists. And so I actually, it's a little big when I snap it this way. Plus, I'm apparently not able to do this today. I'm pressing on my bones. So there's that, which I think is really cool. I'm just going to leave it on. A neat little tray for your stitchy spot that you can then unsnap and, like, lay flat, like if you go on a retreat, if we ever get to do that again. It's navy, which is, like, one of my favorite colors, and the inside is this beautiful kind of, like, suede feel, brown color. So I can put that on my stitchy spot over here. I got some spectacles. not really. They are folding scissors that have kind of that oil slick look. They are some cool, cool, cool scissors. So you fold them like this, pop your blades back in, and then you go like that. And then look, spectacles. Spectacles, aka glasses. All right, then we got a needle minder, which are so much fun that we get needle minders because, like, they're so good. But they come in these little packages that I have an insanely hard time getting open because they're, like, really good and closed. And why I closed it, I don't know. It's suspense. It's the suspense of the opening. So this one says resting stitch face. Resting stitch face. And I love it how it looks like, I cannot think of what it is, but it looks like, is it Grauman's Chinese there? It looks like that, a theater sign, kind of, maybe. Am I making that up? I don't know, but I cannot wait to start this. It's an ink circles chart that they, did for this box. Tracy did for this box called, Half the Fun. And it's got all different modes of travel. So you've got like a tram or a gondola, whatever you want to call that, a unicycle, a hot air balloon, a train, a car, a plane, a bus. It's just very cool. It's very cool. And so I'm kind of debating on what sulky I want to use for that. And I might start that on the day. Let me see what day the photo challenge is for the project. Okay, so the pattern we share on the 7th. So I might be starting that on the 7th. There's been chat of that, starting it on the 7th. So I wanted to share, though. Very cool. Yeah, they asked Tracy to design that. Of course they did, because Tracy's awesome. And she has amazing, amazing charts. Amazing charts. I loved this box. Thank you so much to Katie and Laura for putting together such an amazing box. I shall not forget. Excuse me. I apologize. I keep getting like a little frog in my throat. There's lots of just, I mean, they've got like a little blurb. So good. And I love that they share photos from people from the last box. Janet Jabber's picture made it. Congratulations, Janet. That's really cool. So yeah, and then there's the on-the-go stitching challenge. So each day you share different things on Instagram. And then you can win the box for May for free. So I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, I think that I need to start that pattern on April 7th. Anybody else in to do that with me? Maybe? So anywho, this was a fun one, guys. It was a little long, but I've done my unboxing for you, and I have my super precious FFO. Maybe that'll be my screen grab. I had to go select one last week. I had to do my own because it was bad. All 3 choices were terrible. Terrible. Sometimes YouTube, like, does me right, and sometimes they're like, which one are you gonna pick? Anywho, I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend ahead, that next week is great for you. We're thankfully in a place where our weather is nice and kind and cooperating. I've got some stitching to do tonight. I want to stitch a little bit this weekend, but I got to do a grocery delivery order. You know, all the kind of, like, real life things. Not that stitching's not real life, but unfortunately it does not pay my bills, because that would be kind of cool if it did. But there's a lot of work that goes in to be at that level. So, with that, I will bid you farewell again. I've already sang you my song. Oh, goodness. Happy middle of March. And tomorrow's the first day of spring. Yay! Tomorrow's the first day of spring. So happy spring. I do have a start. Oh, I didn't share it, but I shared it on a previous video. I am starting spring whirligig tomorrow. So that is my first day of spring start. So with that, I hope you have a wonderful evening, day, morning, whenever you're watching this. And with that, I will say I'll see you next week. Bye, friends.